Welcome back. I'm David Nelson, host of the Traders Network show, broadcasting worldwide from the New York Stock Exchange for iHeart Radio and Equities.com. We're here for an event being hosted by the United Nations Sustainable Stock Exchanges Initiative. And my next guest needs no introduction. Mark Makepeace is the Group Director of Information Services at the London Stock Exchange, but you're also the Chief Executive of the FTSE Group. Welcome, Mark. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you.
Mark, you wear two hats, all right?
I do.
How do you manage all that? How do you wear two hats, fill two roles, and do so much with your limited time?
That's because I have a great team that works for me.
Okay.
But it's interesting because it allows me to talk to both the investors and the listed companies. So I'm probably one of the few people who works with both sides.
Wow. We were talking off camera, and you said that the London Stock Exchange got involved about 1 year ago with the initiative. What prompted that? What brought you to that decision? Well,
it's because we could see there was a gap in that listed companies needed some help. We needed to encourage them to make more information available, to encourage them to think about what sustainability means for them, and to then be able to communicate that to investors. And we were hearing from the investor side that they wanted more information so that they could make judgments about their investments based on sustainability.
There's been a lot of talk at today's conference about reporting, company reporting. And here in the United States, of course, it's quarterly reporting, and there's some criticism of that. Talk about what happens on the London Stock Exchange.
Yeah. Well, the London Stock Exchange, usually the reporting is annually, but there will be updates on a quarterly basis. So people tend to try and look longer term. And more investors want to invest for the long term. So they want to find out not just about the financial measures, not just the success in terms of profits, but they want to look at the environmental issues, the governance issues, the sustainability issues for the future. Sustainability is all about a long-term investment rather than a short-term focus.
How are the companies on your exchange embracing this as you bring this for them, especially the companies that are being newly listed?
Well, many of the newly listed companies, the smaller, high growth companies, are embracing this. They're finding that these sustainable themes are what investors want. Whether it's new forms of transport, whether it's new forms of energy, whether it's high tech, many of these companies are seeing these opportunities in the market, and they want to badge themselves as sustainable.
Now, for a smaller company, for them, sometimes it's difficult. It's going to be an increased cost for them. How are they embracing that?
Well, they're embracing it in most companies today will think, what's my social purpose? Does that resonate with the consumers who are buying my product? And if I can connect those, then that's going to help me as a business. And I think that's at the heart of it. Now, what we're trying to do is encourage companies to think in those ways and to give us the information so that we can see their progress.
I want to bring it back to the event today. How is the stock exchange, the Sustainable Stock Exchanges Initiative and the activities that they're going to put forth over the next couple of years, how will that integrate with the London Stock Exchange and maybe your role and what you're going to accomplish over the next year or two?
Well, the biggest challenge we have in the short term is making sure that we have more information from companies. So getting companies to think about, what sustainability means for them, what are the KPIs, the measures that investors should be looking at for those particular companies. So helping companies do that, providing that information to investors, I think that's what we need to do in the short term. After that, it'll be about trying to make sure we're connecting investors and listed companies so that they engage and we have this broader conversation about the future. Long-term sustainable investment.
Any final words, any parting words for the UN and the SSE before you leave today?
I think sustainable investing is growing. It's grown in importance, but it's grown in importance for the biggest, most sophisticated investors, which is a great sign. Over the last 10 years, we really have seen interest in this area grow phenomenally. So we think in the future, there's enormous potential for this. We think exchanges supporting this initiative is the right thing to do, not just for society, but for business as a whole.
Well said, sir. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you.
That was Makepeace from the London Stock Exchange. By the way, a quick thank you goes out to 1-800 Public Relations for all the PR and media support. Thanks for joining. I'm David Nelson.